Let us just go ahead and set the scene here. You wake up for the first time in roughly 4 weeks, and you don't feel like there is literal poison running through your body. Your head and neck pressure doesn't make you feel like you are absolutely brain dead and like your brain might just explode out of your body at any given moment. So, what do? You decide to do everything that you have been thinking about for the last 4 weeks. I haven't used this essential oil diffuser in several weeks, and so what better time to go ahead and just get that bad boy fired up than the very first morning that I feel somewhat like a human? This is what we call adrenaline, my friends. I have hyperadrenergic POTS and I have adrenaline surges because essentially my body doesn't know how to bring blood back up from my feet to my brain and my heart. And so I get these adrenaline surges where lots of activity sounds like a great idea. In reality, it is false energy. So here I am kicking it right into high gear and moving straight from the essential oil diffuser to folding laundry. Mind you, I have not made breakfast, I have not gotten my electrolytes, I have not taken my medication. So who is this person? If you're like me, smack dab in the middle of a chronic illness flare, your brain goes to all of the things that you wish that you could be doing. And you also feel the most inspired to get as healthy as physically possible. You just have all of these good endorphins running through your body. Like, yes, once I get through this flare, I am going to tackle all of the things. And then you end up in a situation similar to what is unraveling right now, where you just see me tackling all of these things because I'm like, I have the energy. I'm paying attention to my body. I don't have a lot of head and neck pressure right now. I don't have a lot of nausea or fatigue. I'm going to go ahead and do the things that I need to do while I have the energy to do them. Failing to remember, I will pay to play. Welcome back, my beautiful friends. I woke up this morning and I said, enough is enough. We have been in this flare for far too long. I'm going to try to push myself a little bit today and see if I can get some movement in and start kind of just getting my body back to its baseline. So we'll see how it goes. I'm going to be cautious and moderate with my exertion, or even minimal with my exertion, because I don't want to overdo it. And that started by me putting in my contacts this morning. I've been wearing glasses for like 3 straight weeks. And if you wear glasses, you know that you can start to feel claustrophobic and like things get like greasy. like, so anyway, I could see my peripherals, so starting off strong with that. Just finished up folding laundry. I am eating or drinking a blueberry banana smoothie right now. It is my birthday week. I turn 39 on Sunday this week, June 21st. And so I took off Thursday and Friday from work, even though I only work 10 hours a week. So I am going to work those 10 hours between Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday this week. So I thought I would take you guys along with me and just I have to look through my fridge. It has been bare bones here. We have been just operating under the bare minimum. So I need to figure out what's in my fridge so that I can order groceries. I'm trying to divvy out my tasks across the first 3 days of the week so that it truly can be a restful weekend. I'm going to make a birthday cake. So I would love for you guys to come along with me, just seeing how I kind of pull myself out of these flares, and then also how I'm going to plan and spend my birthday this year with chronic illness. So let's go ahead and continue this day. I'm going to sit out here and enjoy this smoothie for a little bit, and then I'm going to go rest because I just finished doing laundry, and then I'm going to change and try to go for a little bit of a walk. So see you guys then. We have had to modify how we spend our holidays, birthdays, special occasions, etc. over the years. And, where I used to be able to have a whole ton of activities within one day, we'd be able to start off the morning going to breakfast and then spend the day at the pool. And then we'd come home, get ready, shower, do all the things, go out to dinner, and then have some drinks and, go to bed at midnight. I used to be able to tolerate all of those things. And now I can't tolerate any of those things, even if I were to do them one day at a time, all of them on separate days. We have shifted a lot toward horizontal activities or activities that I can do while sitting down. So because we live in Colorado and the scenery is just unbelievable, we take a lot of drives and we do a lot of picnics. This year, I created a wish list, which basically is just a list of activities that I would love to be able to do. And if we do none of them, that is okay. If we only do a couple of them, that is okay. If we don't do any of them over my birthday weekend and we do them over the next couple of weeks, that is totally okay too. I think one of the most important pieces is to not have too high of expectations. So basically, my expectation going into this weekend is that I'm going to spend the entire thing on the couch, and that is okay. I used to spend a lot of mental energy trying to figure out the logistics. So, does it make more sense to go out to eat for dinner on a Thursday night versus a Friday night? Or if we stack this activity in the morning, then I'll have time to rest in the middle of the day and then I'll be able to go out to dinner that night. So, instead of doing that, I just go with how I'm feeling in the moment. And that is honestly a generalizable sort of approach that I take in my life in general. I used to spend a lot of time trying to figure out what was for dinner, what I'm going to do for lunch, or when I'm going to fit in my bath time. And instead of doing that, I just try to think about what do I feel like doing in this exact moment right now? And then I'm going to do that. And then from there, I can figure out what I want to do next versus trying to map out the entire day because I used to do that and I would obviously end up very disappointed. And if it really boils down to what are the actual things that I want to do on my birthday, I want to feel rested, I want to feel loved, I want to feel joy, and I want to be able to reflect on all of my progress over the last year.
Good morning. It is Wednesday. I just rolled up to LabCorp. I need to get fasting labs for 2 doctors. I finally got my insurance situation figured out after 45 days of it being inactive, despite me paying for it. So I'm trying to like escalate that so that I can get some money back or something because I'm on Cobra since I'm transitioning jobs, and we all know Cobra is not cheap. So anyway, I'm gonna go get this lab work done, and then I'm gonna head home. I'm gonna get ready, and then I need to drive into town to a pediatric therapy clinic and drop off some business cards and some swag. And then I need to go and pick up my ulnar / elbow brace orthotic situation. And then we'll probably be dead for the day, so let's go ahead and do it.
So, my top 3 items that I really want to do this weekend is number one, I want to make a really elaborate birthday cake. And it's not elaborate in the way that you might think. It is just going to be a couple of layers, nice and pretty and vibrant, rainbow colors. And I want to be able to dress up and take a nice photo with my cake. We also have these little blow up floaty type situations that are like a merge with a mini swimming pool. And so I definitely want to have my husband blow those up for us and spend a little bit of time in the sun or even in the shade. It's supposed to be 100 degrees this weekend. I want to watch a movie in bed and take a nice hot bubble bath. I'm actually counting those as one item.
All right, we fast forwarded like an hour because I had to bust ass into gear and get home. I made a 5-minute breakfast sandwich. My husband got that started for me while I was driving. And then I did a 5-minute face and a 5-minute hair and just made the trek into town. And I am at it was like weird timing. I was hoping to be able to go to the pediatric therapy clinic first, but I cannot. So I arrived to my appointment a little bit early. So hopefully they can get me, and I'm just picking up the device. So hopefully they'll just put it on me and it fits, and then I can just head out. So hopefully this is like a 4-minute ordeal. The nausea is starting to kick in and just feeling kind of ucky. So hopefully we can bust through this appointment quickly and get home for some rest. So let's do it.
And ultimately, how I'm thinking about this weekend is with chronic illness, you have to pay to play. And I think that we spend a lot of our time avoiding the things that are going to deplete our energy. And we spend a lot of our time just in the worry phase, trying not to trigger a flare, trying to make sure we have the right hydration and nutrition and exercise and movement, all of the things. And for me, spending all of that time in the worry zone really just decreases the amount of joy that I can access in my world. And knowing that my general baseline on a daily basis is, feeling at a 4 out of 10 means that I'm going to never feel 100%. And so I can't spend my entire life just trying to prevent a flare, trying to rest, trying to keep my symptoms mitigated. And before I know it, my entire life is going to pass me by.
All right, that was not a quick appointment. I was in there for an entire hour, which stinks, but it is what it is. Got my elbow brace. I'll pop that bad boy on for you guys later so you can take a look. I'm going to swing through the Pediatric Therapy Center and get on home.
We only get one life, and if I'm being honest with myself, I have pushed through symptoms throughout a majority of my work career, all of the fun activities that I've engaged in. And so there's a part of me that wants to find a better balance with pushing myself for the things that bring me joy in life.
All right, we made it home. I cut it close on my food window, so I just quickly changed. My cat wants my attention. I am gonna find something to eat, which is gonna be tricky because I have zero appetite. And then I'm gonna close up this house because it's gonna be 101 today, and I have hit my wall. So I'm probably gonna spend most of the rest of the day chilling, and hopefully I can get a shower in, but it's not looking like it. We'll see.
And that doesn't mean that I'm just going to completely forget that I have all of these chronic illnesses. It just means that I'm going to be a little bit more mindful on holidays and my birthdays and during special occasions, and even during the day to day, that there is room for me to push myself a little bit so that I can experience some of that higher level joy in life. And yes, I'm going to pay for it, but I also pay for it when I spend an entire day on the couch. And so, if I'm going to make a decision about how I'm going to exert my energy and what I'm going to exert my energy on, I would much rather exert it on things that are going to bring me good memories and create a lot of wisdom within my experiences and help me continue to grow as a human being, so that when I do leave this world, I feel like I did everything that I could with everything that I was given in this life. So this weekend, I'm going to try to maintain a good balance. I'm, of course, going to stay on top of my hydration and my nutrition and try to keep my body moving a little bit. I'm going to minimize my time in the sun. I'm going to avoid all of the triggers that send me into a severe flare, but I'm not going to be so hyper fixated on all of the variables that go into managing this body on a daily basis. I also created a buffer on the back end. So I took the first couple of days off after my birthday and I made zero plans those days. So I will be completely horizontal. I'll try to get my body back to a good spot in baseline. And ultimately, if I do trigger a flare, it is what it is. And ultimately, I'm not really sure what's responsible for this change in perspective for me. A couple of months ago, I just sort of got this itch to reach out to some of the human beings in my life that are really important, but that I haven't been able to let into my world over the last couple of years because of how sick I've been. And I've just sort of taken that as a cue to it is time for me to rebalance my world a little bit. I do have a little bit more space to bring in some more of that joy into my life. Because when you are chronically ill, your entire life revolves around your illness and trying to feel as best as you possibly can. And that is so incredibly daunting, depressing, and it really can just make you feel like that is your entire world. Your entire world is your illness. It is one facet. And that is not true. You are so much more than your illness. And there is a time and a place where you do need to kind of lean in and let your illness take the center stage so that you can figure out your patterns and your triggers so that you can better organize and navigate your day to day to keep your symptoms at bay as best as possible. But once you understand those things, I think there is definitely some room to kind of push yourself and see how elastic your capacity can be.
Smoothie it is when you cannot fathom putting anything in your body. This one's good with the wild blueberries. Okay, so I have nerve damage in my, so I have thoracic outlet syndrome. I'm not going to speak on this because I really don't know what I'm talking about, but I have a horrible shoulder. I have a horrible neck. I have a horrible arm. All my nerves are messed up. They misfire. But there's something that is, it's like double crush syndrome where like two nerves are impacted. And so when I sleep or when I have my arms bent, my left arm in particular goes completely numb. And it wakes me up multiple times throughout the night. So we did an updated EMG and found that there was some nerve damage. So I went and got fitted for an ulnar orthotic. or a brace. So this essentially is just gonna slide right on up in my arm. And it is basically, I'm only gonna have to wear it at night for now unless it starts to bother me during the day, but I just will, it'll help me keep my arms straight while I sleep. So hopefully I'll get some better sleep. Might be a little bit of an adjustment to get used to, but it feels pretty comfortable. So looking good, looking good. I'm also just like sweating profusely. It's only 70 in here, but you know, sometimes I'm freezing when it's 75 and I'm hot when it's 70. So anyway, I'm going to enjoy this smoothie. I am going to answer a couple of work emails and then I'm going to call that good. I'm just going to put on, I'm watching Summer House. Please don't tell anyone. This is very embarrassing. But I heard there was a lot of drama on season 10 and I've never seen the show. So during this flare, I started on season 1, episode 1, and I'm now on like season 6, maybe even 7 at this point, because that's how deep my flare was. And I'm addicted. I'm addicted. This is why I never did the reality shows growing up. But when you're chronically ill and you've seen every Disney movie 500 times and every new movie and every movie in general, you have to get creative. And so I dipped into the Bravo world and I don't regret it, but let's keep it between you and I.
Cheers to increasing joy and decreasing the focus on chronic illness. I love you guys so much. Have a great week.